All right, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea from the work of Kaia Solene. It's called Living Embodied Presence, and it's all about closing that gap we sometimes feel between who we really are on the inside and what we do out in the world.
You know that feeling, right? Where it's like there are two different versions of you, the inner you and the outer you. It's this disconnect. But what if there was a way to bring those two together? Not by trying harder or striving for something, but just by inhabiting the life you already have.
And see, that's the core idea right here. Presence isn't some mountain peak you have to climb to. It's not a future perfect version of yourself you need to achieve. It's a way of being. It's something that's already here, right now, just waiting for us to fully show up for it.
So, what does this actually look like? Because it's really important to get this. We're not talking about gritting your teeth and forcing yourself to be present. No. The whole approach is completely different.
Think of it this way. The work isn't about adding more stuff. It's actually subtractive. It's about gently removing all the things that are in the way. You know, the old habits, the need for control, the limiting stories we tell ourselves. All that stuff that keeps you from just resting in the coherence that's already your natural state.
Now this brings us to what might be the most radical part of this whole framework, the idea of collapsing the wall between your inner and outer worlds.
You know the old model we were all taught, right? First, you go away and do all this inner work to get yourself sorted out. And then, once you're ready, you go out and build your life. Well, this framework just flips that whole script. It says your inner world and your outer world are in a constant, real-time conversation. They are always reflecting and shaping each other right now.
And this is such a huge reframe. Think about it. That project at work that's driving you nuts, or that tricky conversation you keep avoiding, they're not just roadblocks. They're actually mirrors, showing you in real time exactly where there's still room for you to grow on the inside.
So your life out there in the world becomes this incredible, active partner in your own evolution. When you try to bring an idea to life, it doesn't just show the world what you know, it actually tests what you know against reality. It shines a light on your blind spots and deepens your understanding in a way that just sitting and thinking never ever could.
So if we're going to have this real-time dialogue between our inner and outer worlds, what do we actually need? Well, the source material breaks it down into 4 distinct but totally interconnected kinds of awareness.
Okay, first up is structural awareness. This is like having X-ray vision to see the invisible blueprints of your own reality. It's the ability to see the why behind your patterns, things like the conditioning you got from your family, the cultural stories you swim in, or even just the basic structure of your own ego.
Second, we've got conscious awareness. This one is all about just being with what's actually happening inside you moment to moment, without judging it, without trying to fix it or push it away. It's about giving yourself permission to feel your feelings, think your thoughts, and sense your sensations. That's what makes it all real.
The third one, witnessing awareness, is a little more subtle, but it's absolutely crucial. This is not about being detached from your life, not at all. It's about having a bit of perspective while you're in the thick of an experience. You can feel a really strong emotion, but you also see it as an event that's moving through you, not as the total truth of who you are. It's what the source calls intimate clarity.
And last but not least, we have knowing awareness. This is your gut, your intuition, your inner authority. It's that direct hit of truth that shows up before your logical mind can even begin to explain it. It's the inner compass that points you toward your true north.
And here's the magic. Real wholeness doesn't come from just getting good at one of these. It emerges when all 4 start working together, woven into one seamless whole. That's when you can navigate your life with this incredible combination of clarity and depth.
So, we've got these 4 capacities, but how do we actually use them? How does this play out in real life? Well, the source material gives us a model for this, and it's not a straight line, it's a loop.
This whole process unfolds in 7 distinct phases. But here's the thing, it's not a ladder you climb and then you're done. It's a cycle you come back to over and over again.
And this is what that loop looks like. It is so important to see this not as a checklist, but as a spiral. You cycle through it again and again, and every single time you go around, you go a little deeper. Your capacity for leading yourself just keeps growing.
Let's just walk through it real quick. It all starts so simply, just by noticing what is present. From there, you get curious and you seek information. Then you take action. You use that knowledge. After you act, you pause and reflect on the outcomes. That reflection then opens up a deeper inquiry on what is becoming, which helps you set new purposes.
And finally, you have to recognize completions, to really let go of what's finished, so you can start the whole beautiful cycle all over again.
So if we're just going around in a loop, where are we headed? What's the end game here? What is the actual goal of all of this?
Well, here it is. The goal isn't to get really good at some practice that you do on the side, separate from your real life. The goal is to erase that line completely. You don't take a break from your life to do the work. Your life, your job, your relationships, all the messy, beautiful challenges, that is the practice. You, the person, become the living practice itself.
And what this means is that you can finally get off that hamster wheel of endless self-improvement. The point isn't to chisel yourself into some perfect future version of you. It's so much simpler. It's just about participating more deeply, more consciously, and more wholly in the life that's right here, right now.
So I want to leave you with this question to mull over. What would actually change for you right now if the goal shifted? What if the point was no longer to fix what you think is broken about your life, but to finally, fully inhabit it?